We're live, everybody. Welcome back to the Diaspora channel. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I'm Kayiga Biam, and I showcase Black-owned businesses on this platform. So if you're out there and you're a business owner, feel free to email me at the Diaspora channel at gmail.com. And tonight's live is sponsored by Maison Muka. We say handmade wig, accessories, and also African and faith clothing. So feel free to check us out on the www.maisonmuka.co.uk. I also interview people that have relocated to Africa. They can share their journeys with us, of course, to prepare you better. So whenever you're ready to visit, relocate, or invest on the continent, you know exactly who to reach out to. And tonight we have another interesting, very, very special guest all the way from Ghana. Yes, and his name is Rashad McCrorey. He is an entrepreneur, number one. And of course, there are some amazing things about, this our special guest today, because he has been featured not only on CNN, that's just one of them, also Forbes Magazine, yes, and ABC News as well, just to name few, of course, guys. And he's here tonight to share everything you need to know about African cross culture. Yes, that is his business. They are into tourism. They organize tours on the continent. And so far, Rashad managed to take roughly, approximately, let's say, 300 people to Africa. And that is what I love about what he's doing right now. So he's not out there only living in his best life, but he's also sharing everything people need to know about Ghana. So tonight, I'm so excited, to have him here so he can share everything you need to know about him, because he actually moves accidentally, I would say, to Ghana. I say accidentally because he has to explain that to you guys. So if you'd like to know more about him, kindly stick around till the end of this live. And of course, subscribe if you are new here so you don't miss out on my new uploads. Voilà, j'espère que vous allez tous bien. Moi, je suis Kayiga Biam et merci encore d'être au rendez-vous ce soir. Bonjour, bonsoir. Et ce soir, on a un invité vraiment spécial. Il s'appelle Rashad McCrorey. C'est un afro-descendant, comme on le dit. Et actuellement, il vit au Ghana. Donc, il est le fondateur, en fait, de African Cross Cultures. Ils sont dans le tourisme. Donc, il organise, en fait, des excursions sur le continent, comme les pays comme Égypte, par exemple, Kenya, Ghana et autres. Et ce soir, Rashad, il est là pour partager son parcours avec nous et partager aussi son expérience vivant au Ghana. Et bien sûr, donner quelques conseils à ceux d'entre vous qui aimeraient visiter le Ghana aussi un jour. Donc, je fais des entretiens avec des entrepreneurs sur cette plateforme qui partagent non seulement leur parcours, mais leurs produits ou services avec nous. Donc, si vous êtes entrepreneur aussi et vous voulez me joindre ici live, n'oubliez pas de m'envoyer un mail sur thediasporachannel@gmail.com et vous serez bien sûr en mesure de me joindre ici aussi live pour partager vos services ou produits avec nous. Et n'oubliez surtout pas de vous abonner si vous voulez, si vous ne voulez pas rater en fait mes nouvelles vidéos. Hey Rashad.
Hey, how are you? How are you? Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm doing so great, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm so happy to have you right here tonight, because I know so many people going to learn a lot about your journey, and hopefully that will also prepare them whenever they are ready to visit Ghana or invest in Ghana. They will know one or two things they can actually, use over there. So this live definitely going to be another educative live. So I would love you to tell the viewers who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rashad McCrorey. I'm the owner of Africa Cross Culture. We organize trips to the African countries of Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Rwanda, and Uganda. Some people may have seen me on CNN, ABC World News, CBS, Forbes Magazine, TheGrio, Blabbity, Travel Noir, many, 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 many more. Most recently, I've been in the news due to my transition, my repatriation, my stay in Ghana. I was organizing a tour for Ghana's 6 March festivities. Actually, just 3 days ago was my 2-year anniversary of arriving in Ghana. I came to Ghana for 6 March, organizing a group of 4 for 6 March, which is Ghana's Independence Day. However, around the time the coronavirus just started in the United States of America, then travel borders started to close, and pretty much, New York City was in a rut, being the pinnacle of, ground zero of what the coronavirus was doing in the United States. So rather than returning to the United States, I decided to stay here in Ghana. And as of now, I've been in Ghana 2 straight years. Thank God my finances were in order. My family was very supportive. I've made a lot of great business connections prior to actually living here. Just through my business, I've been organizing tours to Ghana since 2017. My first visit to Ghana was 2015, and I built up enough goodwill and experience to be able to just make an impromptu transition.
So, Rashad, my first question to you will be, was Ghana like the first country you visited?
Yes. My first trip to the African continent was January 2015, and it was to Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, I visited Ghana with my school, and I love the country so much that we have something called refund checks in the United States. So pretty much when you go to college and you take out financial aid, they give you have a certain amount you can take out. So when you take out the maximum amount, they cover your school costs, and then they refund you the remaining balance that you're supposed to be able to use for housing, for books, maybe a computer, or anything to help you, with your schooling. I used the money to go back to Ghana for a second trip in March of that year, and I actually took a semester off. And while I was there on my second trip, that's when I decided to start my tourism company. I was actually a pretty successful New York City party promoter. I'm from New York City. And for those who would like to know, I am fully Black American. I'm what you call foundational Black American. My family, as far as we trace back our history, we were in the Americas. Maybe we started somewhere in the African continent, but through the transatlantic slave trade, we were in the United States of America. So from my family history, we trace our history back to even prior to the 1800s in the United States of America. So I'm not African. I'm from the United States, even though a lot of people like to say we're all African. I do identify myself as foundational Black American. So continuing the story, I was a successful New York City party promoter. And while I was looking for business opportunities, I said to myself, hey, if I could bring 30 to 50 people a month to visit, to party every weekend, I can get 30 to 50 people a year to visit the continent of Africa. And again, 2015 is when I came up with the idea. 2016 is when I started setting up my website and started promoting. In 2017, I actually organized my first trip to Africa, started with Ghana. And then later that year, I did my first trip to Egypt. So I've been organizing trips to Egypt and Ghana since 2017.
Right. So the amazing thing about seeing, brothers and sisters on the continent is so important right now, because there are so many things happening, and we can't just stay in our own corners and trying to fight our battles individually. So it's about time that we come together. But before that will happen, people have to build that relationship. So you organizing tours, bringing, people to various African countries is so, so good. And I'll definitely ask you more about your upcoming tours. But before we go into that, I just want to know, like, you been in Ghana for, let's say, two years now, I believe, right?
Yeah, 2 years, like 2 years and 3 days now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been, yeah,
Awesome,
it's been a great
awesome. And
experience.
everybody, the good thing is everybody looks, like you. How does that make you feel?
Definitely a great sense of accomplishment because when I originally came, this
Mm.
trip, I arrived February 26th, I was in Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay.
February 27th, 2020, I arrived in Ghana. And I did buy a one-way ticket only because there are times when my
Mm.
ticket is too early and I want to stay longer. And then there's also been times where my ticket was too far out and I was just ready to come home. I took care of all my business. Ghana is a small country in the United States. Ghana is only the size of Oregon. And I was just ready to come home. So I
Mm.
did only have a one-way ticket just because I wanted to have the freedom and flexibility to just come back when I want to go. I want to go to Accra Fashion Week. I want to go to Accra Wool Festival. There's things that I wanted to do, and I didn't know when I was going to come back.
Mm.
But around the time when I really thought to myself, wow, well, should I go back to the United States? They're doing lockdowns, the travel
Mm.
ban.
Mm.
Coronavirus is crazy there. I'm in Africa, specifically Ghana. I don't even to this day. My personal belief is that coronavirus is a cold weather virus. When you talk about things like Ebola, Zika, they thrive.
Mm.
This is my opinion. They thrive in warm environments. It reached the United States, but it didn't spread. It died off. So I said, why should I go back to the United States when I know that that virus is really, tormenting people? I think I'm in safe places here. And after the initial scare, Ghana has proven to be one of the places in the world where the virus didn't, really wreck the lives of people in mass numbers. Just giving respect for the people who were sick and the people who did pass away from coronavirus. I just, Ghana wasn't, totally compromised by the virus. So I feel like I made the right decision.
And here you are now. You will be sharing a lot about what you are doing in Ghana. So, what is African cross culture for people that in the chat right now and are wondering what exactly is it and what are the services you guys offer?
Yeah. So when I first came up with the idea of starting a tourism company taking Black Americans primarily to countries in Africa, I went to school like I shared before. The name of the course that I was taking that allowed us to travel to Ghana was called the Cross Culture course, where we do have cross-cultural experiences. The students, they come to a country of our choosing, and we share our culture, insights, and in return, the country that we visit, we learn about their cultural experiences. So it was called Cross Culture. The original story behind that is that we were supposed to visit Cameroon. My first trip to Africa was actually supposed to be Cameroon. However, when the 2014 Ebola outbreak happened, the school canceled the trip to Cameroon. And they wanted to cancel trip to the entire continent of Africa altogether. They started talking about visiting South Korea, El Salvador, other states in the United States like Montana, and visit Native American tribes. So we had options. However, myself and another professor and a few students said, hey, this is back before this was mainstream knowledge. We said, hey, Africa is 54 countries. Africa is not just one huge continent. And we targeted Ghana as a country who was friendly to foreigners, to travelers, who had no cases of Ebola. And, we had to sign a whole bunch of waivers and everything. So the origin of the name Africa Cross Culture actually came about due to the course that I was taking in my school called the Cross Culture Experience, the Cross Culture course. And again, as I explained just a few minutes ago, I used to be a New York City party promoter. I would say about a B plus level party promoter. I actually, noteworthy in the United States concerning New York City. So it was just easy for me to start a travel company, just to be able to network properly, to organize people, to manage people. And I didn't want to just stop at one country, just being Ghana. Then it came to me visiting Egypt, and then I loved Egypt, and I said, hey, I want to take people to see the Nile River. I want to take people to see the Sphinx, the tombs. We have a trip August 7th to August 13th every year called the Lionsgate Portal trip. And for those who don't know about the Lionsgate Portal, I'm big on astrology, numerology, things of that nature. Every year around August 8th, the largest star in our solar system called Sirius, for those who are aware of Sirius Radio, the largest star in our solar system, Sirius, the sun and the earth are all in perfect alignment over the Giza pyramids. So that's a date where many people believe that spiritual portals are open for positive transitions in life, for abundance living, and also the strengthening of our subconscious, our bringing in a state of mindfulness. So we actually do an annual trip August 7th to August 13th every year to go to Egypt, where we visit the Giza pyramids, the Nile River. We go to the ancient Egyptian museum, and the mummies come out at night. I'm joking, things of that nature. Luxor, where the statues are 30, 40, 50 feet tall, just showing ancient Africa at its greatness. Now we see Africa as a Arabic country. Africa, Egypt's been colonized by Arabics. However, ancient Egypt is, sub-Saharan Africa. I know everybody don't like the term sub-Saharan, but sub-Saharan Africa, that look like me, that look like you. So that's our annual Egypt trip. We do trips to Kenya, where we travel along Mombasa, and we also not only focus on the safari trips, but we also focus on the East African slave trade. I have recently started organizing tours to Rwanda, Uganda. I know personally I want to visit South Sudan. So Africa Cross Culture is more than just, sex tourism, more than just partying. It's also a trip where people can go to an individual country and also have a richly rewarding cultural experience in terms of, personal accountability, health, mindfulness, spiritual practices, along with, having fun and partying and doing good things like that.
Right. Great. So do you have any dates in mind for your upcoming tours?
I have a group April 1st to April 7th of 2022, April 9th to April 14th, 2022 for Ghana, July 1st to July 10th, 2022 for Ghana, August 7th to August 13th, 7 days in Egypt, September 18th to September 25th in Kenya. We're organizing our first trip to Nigeria, October 1st to October 10th. It's my first ever. That's why it's not, in the introduction. August 1st to August 10th, we'll be spending 4.5 days in Abuja, and then 5.5 days in Lagos. And then December 24th to January 2nd in Ghana for New Year's. Those are our upcoming trips. Also, my new book, The 10 Repatriation Commandments, will be released Monday, March 21st. The 10 Repatriation Commandments for African Americans, for Black Americans moving to Africa. I use Africa generally, broadly speaking, but it is about my experience of living in Ghana, visiting my 11 African countries that I visited, just some of the experience I have about personally living in these countries, doing business in these countries, just the not so good side of things also. In one of the chapters, one of the introductory chapters, I talk about how, like, even, YouTube, where we're slaves to the algorithm. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com, 2Black2Strong, 123, TOO Black, TOO Strong, 123, where, if we don't put what's trending on YouTube and what YouTube decides to spread on the algorithm, nobody will know. So you have a lot of topics that should be touched upon that are not touched upon because they're not going to get views. Because people don't know what to look for. YouTube, makes you slave to a search engine. So if you don't know this is what's to worry about, you don't even know to type it. And then YouTube won't spread it because they're saying, oh, this is not something that people are looking for. But what you don't know, you don't know. Just like they say, if you know, you know. What you don't know, you don't know. I've been on CNN, I've been on ABC News, I've been in USA Today, I've been on Forbes Magazine. People don't want to hear about your negative experiences. There's a lot of YouTube things that go viral, only for the worst of the worst, but these mainstream media outlets don't want to hear about the negative experiences. So, and there's so much more, even testimonials from tourists, from tour guides and travel companies. People only put the best testimonials. People for the gram and on Facebook and on Snapchat and TikTok, they only tell you about the best stories, or if they want to just exploit somebody, so what I try to do, what the book is almost done. The second draft is finished. I'm sending it out to the editor what the book does is it keep it raw and it keep it real. So I also, while I teach people, what are the benefits, I also highlight the things that you got to worry about, the things that you need to keep an eye out for. One of the 10 repatriation commandments is, when you're looking for housing, see for yourself. A lot of people, they want to trust things online. They want to look online and type up, Google some things, and then they just say, hey, this looks nice. These pictures look nice. And then when they finally get to the country, maybe it's a mile from the main road. So then not only are you taking your public transportation to the main road, you got to take a separate public transportation to the house. And over the course of a year, that might run you another $500, $1,000. Or you get to the place and with the cement and beams that it was built with, the internet access don't come in, or they tell you, oh, you're in the main town, you're in the capital of the city, but then you still may be an hour or hour and a half from any major tourist attractions from downtown, depending on what kind of life you live. So with the book, The 10 Repatriation Commandments, Black Americans Moving to Africa, it teaches you a lot of insight and a lot of things that people who don't live, who only visit, don't know. And also it gives you information that, unless you just find pages that you like and you follow these pages and you just listen to them and they really get down to the nitty gritty, things that you're not going to find out about living in Africa, in this case, Ghana, or even visiting these countries. Because I have stayed in countries for 6 weeks, 3 months. This is the first time I actually lived in the country. It just gives you a lot of information from my lens, from my perspective, mistakes that I hear a lot of people complain about. And I was like, wow, if they knew this, they probably would have had a more successful repatriation.
And that is also needed because sometimes, a content creator will come out here, put, their experiences out there. They might have a good time, everything worked perfectly well for them, but that is not all the time the case. So that's why.
Well, that's all they're telling you.
Yeah. And so that's why I always encourage people that don't just hear someone say something and based on that, you go and book your flight and just appear in the next country. But it's your duty to do your homework properly, connect with the right people. So when it's time to go there, whether you just want to go there on vacation, for example, or to buy your property or start a business, there is someone there that will guide you. And with your book, Beacon of Lights wanted you to put it in the chat, and I'll put your question afterwards. There is another question as well. I'll put it afterwards. So that's why you can't just be hearing things. I'm not saying everything is rosy. So that's why we have to be open and share what is working and also what is not working, because at the end of the day, I push Black businesses on this platform, but at the same time we have a lot of work to do. So what is your experience like, not only living in Ghana but working with locals?
It's been a wonderful experience, a lot of self-reflection and a lot of patience and understanding. Understanding that even though Ghana is an English-speaking country, English is a difficult language, and English is a backward language. Like, one thing that I'm consistently practicing is to understand that even though I'm speaking English, the native tree language is almost reverse. So, for example, in America, I may say something like, 1 coffee, 3 sugars. However, in Ghana, tree language, the subject comes first. So in Ghana, I may have to say coffee 1 or sugar 3. Now, that's not proper English, but it's about having a level of understanding that even though English is the main is listed as the primary language of the country, it's really Tree. And then when you get into Fanti and you get into Dagambe and you get into Hausa, so if you go to Ghana, for example, and to me this is a small example, but if you go to Ghana, you say, let me get 1 coffee and 3 sugars, and you turn around or you look at your phone or, you go grab something, you may come back to 3 coffees sitting in front of you. Where if you're in the United States, you say 1 coffee, 3 sugars, everybody understands. And in the past, I would have thought, oh, this person is stupid. What is wrong with you? Wow, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said 1 coffee, 3 sugars. What are you doing? When you're living in a country, you really day after day, week after week, month after month, and in my case now, year after year, you start looking at things more objectively. You start taking a deeper look at yourself, saying, okay, maybe I'm not being clear, but why am I not being clear? Where's the disconnect? And I've done, I could pat myself on the back. We need to congratulate ourselves more anyway. I feel like I've done a good job at being honest with myself, real with myself. In my book, The 10 Repatriation Commandments, I'm gonna say it a third time. The 10 Repatriation Commandments. Commandment number 1 is, who you are in America will be who you are in Africa. Me being a Black American, foundational Black American, like I explained before, we think we take a step on, the sweet African soil. We come back home to Mother Africa, and the sky is going to open up, and the ground is going to shake, and a beam of light is going to come down on us, and we be instantly transformed. Maybe in the spiritual realm, but as far as the land of the living, these things take time. So one of the things that you can do to make your repatriation, or even just a trip where you want to get the most out of your trip, is understand that your problems are not going to go away. Yes, we deal with systematic oppression and racism in America, and being somewhere where you get to really be free, and not deal with systematic oppression and racism, we have to understand that we still been dealing with that for so long, since we've been born, and our parents, and it's almost genetically part of us now to even be in those hostile situations, that it's going to take time for us to understand and see what our new life is. So I encourage people, if you have a temper in America, to start working on your temper, because you're going to carry that temper in Africa. If you get in toxic relationships in America, you're going to come to Africa and find your time. And I say Africa because we talk about multiple countries. You're going to find yourself in toxic relationships. And we also have to know, as Black Americans, I'm speaking from a Black American point of view, and I know this is the Diaspora channel, there's other Diasporans. A lot of times we romanticize Africa. We think that, everything is sweet. We may be beyond seeing the stereotypical poverty and poorness and flies and, things that we know that's just propaganda, but we still may think like, oh, everything here's going to be sweet. No, you have to be able to, find a way to make a living for yourself too. No, this is not a place where you want to come to get off the grid. And people feel like they could come here and just be homeless and be bums and get off the grid and live on the floor. No, you don't want to come here and do that. So my personal experience and what I've been what I try to encourage others to do is that, you still have to deal with yourself. Like Jay-Z said, no matter where you go, you are who you are, player. Other people have said, no matter where you go, there you are. So continuing to be here, and I knew some of these things from visiting, but continuing to be here has allowed me to take an even deeper look at myself, to not only appreciate my strengths. We have a tendency to always look at the negative, to know that your strengths will be your strength, and know what your weaknesses are, so you can enhance your strength, and also, be aware of your weakness. If you know you're a strong entrepreneur and you may be good at sales, maybe you don't want to come here and just open up a restaurant because you have the money to open up a restaurant. Maybe you still want to find a way to use your sales expertise. Because if you never had a restaurant, you don't even like food, you don't even know, and you just said you want to open up a restaurant because that's stereotypically a successful business to have, then you're probably going to fail. You may use your American money to open up an American business, but then when you start getting paid in Ghana cedis, you're going to realize that it may take 2, 3, 4 years for you to even get out the red. So, but once you know what your strengths are, maybe your strengths are fashion, maybe your strength of the design, maybe you have a strong ability to network where you can meet the right people. Know what your strengths are, because your strengths are going to be your strengths here, and be aware of your weaknesses, because your weaknesses are going to be your weakness here.
Right. So much in there for people to, reflect on, because sometimes if there are certain things you're dealing with, like you're struggling with, and you don't fix those things properly before going on the continent, it can just be like ends up in a hot water. So try to
don't let it stop you, but just be mindful of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this question is from Beacon of Light. I hope he's still in the chat. What kind of business can someone from the diaspora can kickstart with less upfront costs?
I always tell people to really, just like I have, find a business that resonates with your passion. I've been encouraged and learning about business in Africa since I was 5 years old. How do I know it's 5 years old? I remember me and my family moving into a new apartment at the age of 6. And I remember my father starting my lessons at the old apartment. So, I just put 2 and 2 together, say, okay, I was younger than 6. And again, I said I used to be a New York City party promoter, and I just transitioned from a party promoter to being a travel event coordinator, whatever you call it, entrepreneur travel agency, whatever you call it. So even within me, I've always had the gift of gab, the ability to network. I have I have a good sales mind. I love going out. I love going to events. This is naturally me. So I would say first, stereotypical, find out what your passion is, but really find out what you love about yourself, what you love to do, what really makes you at peace. Because if someone said to me, you don't have to worry about money, what would you do with your life? And as of now, it would still be, I would just travel the African continent and meet different people, travel to different cultures, and just enjoy it. So that's the line of business that, like, I'm making money right now. I get making money doing this. What? Talking about myself and my travels. That's amazing. So first, find what your passion and what your desire is. It's not about finding a business opportunity with less upfront costs, because once you find out what you want to do, once you learn and once you understand the type of business that you want to have, generally speaking, that you can do anywhere in the world, or that you just want to do, then that will open up avenues for you to actually start finding out what you can do. And then once you find out what you can do, then naturally you will have the passion and the desire to come up with the initial upfront cost that you need, because that money is going to come from a place of just you living your natural life and your natural desire. It wouldn't be like, okay, that this is just my life philosophy. This is how I live, okay, once you know what you want to do, then you can start looking for opportunities in that field. And then from there, you can start to choose what you want to do. So I can name things. I can name things like clothing. You could go to agriculture, whether it's cocoa or farming. You can look into stocks. You can look into Bitcoin. You can look into music. You can look into film. There's so many different opportunities. I even have a book of 100 businesses to that you can start in Africa. So I can name a lot of things with low upfront costs. And also, if you have access to, I know you're in the UK, so if you have access to the British pound, I have access to the American dollar. If you have, the yen, if you have any access to currency that is more than the African currency. I know Ghana is a CD, and I think the CD is the third strongest currency in all of Africa from when I last checked. You have a lot more money to invest in Africa than you may even have here in the States. I always say be careful with who you invest your money into, because they're entrepreneurs who have great ideas, but also when you put the money in their hand, they don't have the discipline to actually put the money where they say they want to put the money in. There's so many different avenues. We could talk more about that if anybody want to reach out to me. But I always say know yourself first, because once you know yourself, then you start having an idea of what kind of businesses you want to go into. And then as you investigate those businesses, you choose the best option for you.
I like that answer. So I also know that you have an NGO out there that I would love you, if you don't mind, sharing a little bit more about that, and how, to people right now watching that will also be interested to start their own NGO. For example, in Ghana, what are the requirements?
The requirements is finding a Ghanaian partner, or actually you need two Ghanaian partners if you're non-Ghanaian, to sign off on the NGO for you to be on your board, which I think is wise. Policy in Ghana is that foreigners can't, be 100% owners unless it's a sole proprietorship, and then you have to go through a lot of red tape to get a sole proprietorship, and that's pretty much a sole proprietorship in Ghana's sense will be more like an entertainer. Like if you're a musician, no, you can't sell 20% of you, but for NGO, what is the I'm trying to get the exact name, but it's a liability company. Can I go run it? I don't want to go run and go get my go run and get my poster, but I wanted to get my certificate. But with an NGO,
if it's just right there, you can just reach out to it, and show it. Feel free to do that. But if you think it's gonna take a lot of time,
you want me to run off for 10 seconds? You want me to run off for 10 seconds to get it?
Brilliant. If it's 10 seconds, all right. Yeah, definitely. So guys, thanks everyone for joining the show tonight. Please don't forget to give this live a thumbs up, and also share. Obviously that helps a lot if you give a video a thumbs up, and also share the information. We reach so many people. That's why we take up time to do this live. Yay. So now Rashad is back.
All right, so limited by guarantor. So that's what makes it a non-government organization. And it's in the United States or many other places, it would be more considered a non-for-profit. And what I recommend to people is when you're filling out the paperwork, be as vague as they allow you to be. So my NGO is called the Rashad McCrorey Foundation, because even though I am the owner of Africa Cross Culture, I name brand everything, I'm branding my name, I'm branding myself, because if I ever decide I don't want to do travel and tourism anymore, I don't want to be linked to Africa cross culture. I just want to be Rashad McCrorey. And it's been a wise decision for me so far. So I named my company the Rashad McCrorey Foundation. What does the Rashad McCrorey Foundation do? The Rashad McCrorey Foundation helps communities in Ghana. I didn't name a specific place. I help communities in Ghana with education. What kind of education? I have options, because if I say science, if I want to do something with, if I decide I want to do something with math, they would say, well, your NGO does science. That helps with education, human services, and community development. What is community development? I'm purposely not specific, because once you are specific, it kind of bars you in. So what you want to do is you want to come up with a organization that's pretty broad, just to give you options. Once you do come up with what kind of organization that you do want to do, the next step will be finding people you can trust, because people could say, yes, I'll sign this for you today. Yes, I'll sign this for you today. But then when money start coming in, money that's supposed to be used for the company or the NGO or for the community, they have a right to say, oh, let's put the money here, let's put the money there. And then next thing you know, somebody's doing an add-on to their house. These are real stories. I always keep it raw. I always keep it real. So once you find out what kind of NGO you want to do, you know that within yourself, but then on the paperwork, you always want to keep it broad. When you have people sign up to be on the board of directors of your NGO, you only need a minimum of 2. Make sure it's people that you can trust. You know, who can you really trust with money? This is the world. This is capital. We're in a capitalistic world. Even family fight over money. But try to find people with good character, people who also believe in your initial vision, who want to be a part, or who also want to help you, but not, you know, who your instincts tell you that don't have selfish ambitions behind the end of the day. Because a lot of times, if you're in a diaspora and you come into various African countries, whether you are rich or wealthy in your country or not, when you come to the continent, you automatically are wealthy or even presumed to be wealthy. So you really have to be mindful of who's around you, who are you surrounding yourself by. Also, understand also that there's a lot of politics that goes on when you start talking about NGOs and non-government organizations. So let's say if you live in a city, a town, a district, and one government party's is in charge, but you have an NGO that you want to start to do the services, maybe around the election time, the other party may try to sabotage you because the current party in power, this will go under their accomplishments. So NGO, you may have to deal with a lot of politics, a lot of political things. Here in Ghana, it's not expensive. Again, you have to get Ghanaians on board, and you have to be able to allow Ghanaians to be a part of your organization, because if you don't and you do it out of your own pocket, it will run you hundreds of thousands of American dollars. However, once you get Ghanaians in your community involved, it reduces the price, and it treats it as a Ghanaian organization, not a foreign organization with their foreign, what's the word I'm looking for? Foreign influence. So like I said, I understand everything 100%. I think it's wise for the Ghanaian country to do things that way. Any other questions you have specifically about the NGOs? Because I don't want to just be talking. You know, I'm always going to keep it real. I feel like if I don't keep it real and I'm not 100% honest, I feel like the universe has stopped me from having amazing experiences.
It's always good, you know, to share the truth, really, and that's how we're going to
my truth through my lens.
Certain things better, for sure. So I know you talk about your book, but I would like to know: is it out there for people to purchase? If yes, where exactly can people order your book?
It will be on Amazon. It will be Monday, March 21st. My release day will be Monday, March 21st. The book is finished. I'm just sending out to the editor. I sent it out to the editor about 2 days ago, so I'm just waiting for the editor to make their corrections, and then I'm going to just correct that. The format is on standby, and the book is pretty much done. The 10 Repatriation Commandments. You can find it on Amazon. So if you write my name, save my name, or the 10 Repatriation Commandments, you can Google it. If you put the 10 Repatriation Commandments now, I believe it will come up on Amazon. It's the book with the black, red, and white cover. It will come up, and then you can follow me as an author. I have my previous book, Stuck in Africa. I'm sorry, give me 3 seconds to get stuck in Africa. Yes, I know.
Go and get it.
So my previous book, this is a screenplay that I wrote, Stuck in Africa, based on a true story, which is about my stay in Africa. It's a fictional story based on my real life story. For those who are coming in a little later, with my tour company, Africa Cross Culture, I was on a tour with 4 other Americans, touring Ghana for their Independence Day festivities. That's when the coronavirus pandemic broke out in the United States, and I decided not to come back, and I've been living in Ghana 2 years now. In the book, me, the character, was really trying to get back, but couldn't get back. And then it was just about the things that I learned, my experiences in Africa, in Ghana during my stay. Some people call it a romantic comedy. It's definitely been selling well. So if you want to check out my book, Stuck in Africa, based on a true story with Rashad McCrorey, you can check that out. Yeah, I'm here.
That is on Amazon as well. They can get that book as well on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a fun. This is a storybook. This is a screenplay. This is a screenplay slash storybook. So it's a fun, quick read. It's a fun, quick read. The 10 Repatriation Commandments. That's more of a self-help book. That's going to be more of a self-help book, like a real guide, an insight to just the things that I talk about, both the good and the bad, ways that you can get ahead and have because there's been a lot of viral negative stories about people, especially Ghana, people coming to Ghana and, learning the hard way. People welcome home you to death. Welcome home, brother. Welcome home, sister. And at the same time, be in your pockets. Welcome home. We love you so much. Coming to the stores, they smile in your face, and you don't know they're charging you 2, 5, 10 times more than the regular price. I feel like as Americans, we're the gentrifiers here. If a lot of Americans move into a certain community, all the prices go up, and we do the gentrification. So being an American, like myself, I have to let other Americans know. Americans are cheating Americans here too. Americans are fighting other Americans too. Americans are jealous of other Americans too. We think we come, yeah. Yeah,
I would say it's not only like Ghana per se, because like in some other African countries.
I hear about the Gambia a lot. I hear about Tanzania a lot, Ethiopia. These things are going on there too.
It's all about education and, letting people know that, because someone is coming from abroad, that's not necessarily mean like, they are wealthy or, you can take advantage of them. Okay, if they decide to give you something on top, that's, their choice. But, it's definitely something.
I call it the African dream. As Black, many diasporans have the African dream, just like you may have heard of the American dream. People from around the world want to come to America, the land of milk and honey, the land of opportunity. And then, they come in, they find out, it worked for many, but it don't work for many. A lot of Black Americans and a lot of diasporans, they have the African dream. And then unfortunately they come here and they take their lenses off. They lose all their street smarts and their common sense. They, and that's where the bad experience is coming from. This is such a wonderful place, amazing place.
Rashad.
Yeah.
Some people are not well prepared, like I was saying in the beginning.
This is paradise, but if you come here dumb, it won't be paradise. It's paradise here. The continent is your playground. However, you still have to be mindful, because then, next thing you know, your bag is missing at the airport, or you scammed out of so much money, and some people scam you and try to run away, and some people try to really I don't want to say bulldoze, but really I took your money. So what? What are you going to do about it? Oh, really? I'm from New York. So, oh, really? But some people are not ready for that. They're nice people, genuinely good people, and then they come not knowing that they're wealthy.
In every country, there are some good and there, few bad out there
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, for this one is for the brothers in the chat right now. Rashad, you've been in, you know, in Ghana for 2 years now. And I'm sure, you know, some brothers might not necessarily want to only invest in Ghana, but they will be looking for love as well. So what is the dating scene like in Ghana?
Oh, it's fun. For both men and women, understand if you're in a diaspora and you come and like I said, I'm gonna use Africa, broadly in this one because it's similar in other countries. Understand that you're wealthy. That's one of the things that you have to understand just off the rip. So you have to be mindful that some people are only gonna want you for your money. And then it's up to you to decide, okay, am I still gonna date this person knowing that, that wealth is a major component. Now, again, like I said, we have to understand that, keep our street smarts. In America, if you have money, you'd be like, oh, this girl is just a gold digger. But, here we tend to think like, okay, we come here, oh, no girls like me in America. Now all the women want me here because you're wealthy. Or maybe in America, a young lady may not be in the best shape and wasn't really getting attention from guys. And now that she's in Ghana, all these handsome Ghana men or all these handsome Nigerian men are all over you. You got to understand that, you have a visa, you have money. So once you understand that, I think you kind of safe-proof yourself. And then after that, you can start understanding the benefits, just like me being in America. Women always love foreign guys. Foreign men had accents. Foreign men have life experiences that are just different and just culturally different from us American men. Now, I'm the foreigner. Now, I have an accent. Even when I speak Chi, I have an accent. I have a different lifestyle. My level of luxury, my life of living is not like an average Ghanaian per se, when you start talking about the average wealth. So the dating scene here is wonderful. It's a blessing because you're a different person. You're not the standard person because you're coming from a new country. So if you're from Togo, for example, and you go dating in Benin or you come to Ghana, you're Togolese. You're not the average Ghanaian person. So you can enjoy the dating scene because you're a foreigner, you're new, you have your Western education or your northern, I like to say northern hemisphere now. You have your northern education, your finances are in order, especially if you're amongst the many who decide, hey, I don't want to come to Africa or move to these countries and then go off the grid and not have to feel the pressure of making money no more. No, I still want to make money. I still want to live a wonderful lifestyle out here. The dating scene is just amazing. I love it. I've been here some time now. I'm not, so like now I'm a little bit more settled down, but the dating scene here is amazing. The women are amazing. I know a lot of diaspora women who have found love or who have found partners that understand and value them. Like, I'm always going to keep it real. I'm sorry. They understand like, hey, this person wouldn't have this finance. I have to fund this person's dreams. And I found somebody smart enough that's not going to mess it up. That's going to treat me like a queen. A lot of people talk to me. They find men who treat them like queens because because the men understand that this is somebody who's giving me an opportunity and I'm lucky to meet this person. Unfortunately, and I'm glad, especially men, I'm glad that many of us are understanding that Disney movies and true love and those kind of things that, they're few and far between and, not everybody's going to have a happy ending. But once you kind of understand as a man what attracts a woman, as a woman, you may have to understand that, in America or your home country, guys may just be trying to get between your legs, excuse me. But in these foreign countries, they may be trying to get in your pockets. Once you kind of start understanding that, okay, maybe I was middle class or lower middle class in America, but here, technically I'm a millionaire, and now it may be a little bit more difficult to find a woman who really likes me for me. But once you start understanding that maybe it wouldn't have been that way in America either. You know, that's kind of the conversation that I have with a lot of other Black American men and women. Short story about me. I learned at a young age that I wasn't necessarily, Idris Elba. So I learned how to talk to women. I kind of like understood that, women like the fact that I'm well-spoken. Women like the fact that I'm self-driven, that I'm self-sufficient. And I kind of started studying women and learned what were my gifts and my benefits in attracting women. But there's a lot of men who come out here who never had women interested in them in their life. Who never been successful with women, and then they come here and they're finally having successful women, and they not understanding that they being taken to the cleaners and the parents are in on it. They fall for the African dream, thinking they're gonna come to Africa and find a queen. And it's like, hey, Africa is not the youngest country in the world and the fastest growing country in the world for nothing. And these people got secrets out here too, sleeping around out here too. And horror stories like lifelong boyfriends and lifelong girlfriends will know that if their partner finds an American or a wealthy person, to be quiet, and to let that relationship go. So understand that the world is your oyster out here, but I just try to protect people from, kind of being blindsided and having horror stories that come back because I hear them too often, especially someone like me whose voice is trusted, that I always say, I'm happy here. This is an amazing place. The world is your oyster. Your dreams will come true. This is the this is the real land of opportunity. It's just about being mindful of, not being fooled. You don't want to be fooled.
Yeah, or naive out there, because like we were saying earlier, every country you're going to find the good, the bad, and the ugly. So it's down to you to take your time, don't rush things up, learn to know who you are dealing with.
And the give and take, like we have to stop, we have to get out the fantasy of, oh, this person's the perfect person. This person's going to love me, for good, for bad, forever, for worse. That's not, respectfully, that's not reality. I have to be able to say, if I'm going to marry, I want to marry. Okay, I may not get the top, woman that I want, as a man, I try to show men, I try to help men understand sometimes we shouldn't go for what we want. We need to embrace the woman who really likes us. So maybe I'm going to use a scale. Maybe we may want the 10. However, maybe I'm just, respectfully, because I know why are you rating women? But we may want the 10, but sometimes we may want to take the 7 or the 8 who really likes us, who really care about us, who really love us, not the 10 who, maybe sneaking around or taking attention from everywhere. So, and that's for men anywhere in the world. That's even in America. That's even if I was in America, I'll be saying like, yo, I really like this girl, but I may have to choose the one who really like me, and then as I improve myself, make myself a richer, stronger, better man, the higher quality woman is going to like me more. But as I continue to strive for that, I need to appreciate who loves me, who likes me.
I have time for you. So now, Rashad, this question I ask almost like all my guests, because you are over there in Ghana. Anyone listening right now, watching us right now, that is thinking about visiting or investing or relocates to Ghana, what advice would you give them?
I would say always see for yourself. Take your time. We have to prioritize where our money goes to. I learned early in sales that I'm not competing against other Ghanaian tourism companies, Africa tourism companies. I'm not only competing against those companies. I'm competing over the person who wants to buy a new car, the car salesman. I'm competing against the house. to get a deposit. I'm competing against a guy who wants to go spend $300 on a date, American dollars on a date with a girl who don't even like him just to get him to put the deposit. So we have to understand that what's competing for your money? Where is your true desire? Are you willing to not buy your car right now or upgrade your car in order to take a 2-week trip to Africa, a 1-week trip I say Africa broadly, depending on what country you want to go to. Am I going to spend $2,000, $3,000 to go to Ghana for 2 weeks and really start to meet people, knowing that I may have to go once a year, twice a year for the next 2-3 years and meet people and test people, and before I find out where I'm going to buy my land at? Or am I just going to just send this company, these people, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to build a house for me? How high on your priority list is visiting a continent, visiting a country? How important it is to you? Because it's not just what country you want to visit to. There's things in your day-to-day life. Okay, a new iPhone comes out every year now, every 6 months now. A new Galaxy come out every 6 months now. A new TV comes out. That's $1,500. That's a plane ticket. That's a plane ticket. That's an upgrade in your hotel stay. So you have to decide where are you going. I mean, unless you just got the money to do it, and options are not an option, and there's still options, you still have to make decisions. But what in your life, where does moving to Africa, visiting Africa, how high is that on your priority list? And what sacrifices do you have to make? Sacrifice is one of those scary words, because people hear sacrifice, like, why do I have to sacrifice? But sacrifice may just be, spending a little less money for the next 3 months, maybe one more day cooking in instead of going out, or even instead of doing fast food. And that way you save up an extra $500-$600 that may cover, an additional 3 to 5 days on your stay. Maybe I'll keep my iPhone 10 or 11 or 12 and not do the 13 right now because I want to buy a plane ticket for the extra trip. Okay, do I need to fly nonstop Delta first class so I could be there 9 hours, or do I take Ethiopian Air or Kenyan Air and then use my 1-day layover and save $500-$600 there? So first thing, everything that I always talk about always start internally. So really understand that you have to make a commitment depending on the level of, you have to make your decisions depending on the level of commitment that you have. Do you really want to move? What do you want to visit for? Do you want to just go party and have fun and just have that experience for the week? Or do you really want to make it a regular part of your life? So those are the first questions that you want to ask yourself. And then I say second from there is what kind of experience are you looking for? Are you looking for just nightlife, party, fun? Are you looking for culture? Are you looking to just get away? So once you decide what kind of trip you're looking for, what kind of experience you're looking to have, then you'll be able to narrow down your decisions to have something that really speaks to you. Don't lie to yourself. If you know you want to go out and have date and have fun and do all that stuff, understand what that means, and then you know exactly where you're going to put your money into. A lot of people waste money because they're lying to themselves. Society tells them, oh, you should want to go back to Africa because it's your culture and your tradition and you should help people. When you really know that you don't want to help nobody, you just want to have fun. What's wrong? There ain't nothing wrong with having fun, but then don't feel the pressure to have fun when you really know that you have a deep passion to help people. Be real with yourself, because when you're real with yourself, you're able to design your life to have the best life for you. I started this company as a party promoter. I had a natural, passion to help people. I've always been social justice, human rights, empowered individual, but at the end of the day, my expertise and skills came from nightlife. My company deals with cultural experience because that's where my passion from childhood come from. But at the end of the day, I'm authentically being me. If you're authentically being you, you're going to make the best decisions for yourself.
Thanks so much, Rashad. Guys, keep it real. That's what I'll pick from what Rashad said, and get your priority right. Very, very important. And of course, pour nos frères et sœurs francophones, franchement, on a passé un très, très bon moment avec Rashad. Et ce que je vais faire, je vais mettre tous les contacts dans la barre de description. Et avec sa société, ils organisent des excursions sur le continent. Pas seulement ça, il y a aussi une organisation caritative où ils aident les gens aussi. Donc, il a parlé un peu de ça. Donc, c'est juste pour partager les points clés de ce live avec vous. Et bien sûr, il a donné beaucoup de conseils pour ceux d'entre vous qui veulent visiter l'Afrique un jour. Sûrement ceux qui sont dans la diaspora et qui n'ont personne là-bas, ce que vous devrez faire et être aussi vraiment attentif. Donc, franchement, on a passé un très bon moment ce soir. On a beaucoup appris. Donc, il y a aussi deux livres. Il a dit que ces livres sont sur Amazon. Donc, c'est en anglais, bien sûr. Donc, ceux d'entre vous qui parlent l'anglais ou qui peuvent lire l'anglais, vous pouvez aussi faire votre commande sur Amazon. Et bien sûr, partagez ce live avec d'autres personnes. N'oubliez pas de vous abonner et activer la cloche. À très bientôt et bonne soirée à vous. So, Rashad, now...
Au revoir.
Over. I'm going to let you round up nicely the live tonight. Anything you like to share? Where can people find you?
You can find me here on YouTube, youtube.com, Too Black, Too Strong, 1, 2, 3, TOO Black, TOO Strong, like strong, 1, 2, 3. You can find me on Instagram at Rashad_McCrorey. Maybe you can do hashtag Too Black, Too Strong, and then find me on the hashtag. I'm verified on Instagram, so you'll see the blue check mark at Rashad_McCrorey. Or you can go to my Ghana website, ghcrossculture.com, the letter G, the letter H, crossculture.com. You can find me on, all social media platforms at Rashad_McCrorey.
Thanks so much, Rashad, for your time. I will get all those different, social media handles, everything you guys need to know, and also his YouTube channel link. I will be adding all those good stuff in the description box so you can check him out. And if you like to know more about his journey, surely subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. And thanks everyone for joining tonight. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you all very soon. Take care of yourself. Good night.